If you want to save time and learn how to invest in real estate faster, go to investorthrive.com to master the sales process from our training so you can close more deals with less leads, even if you're only doing this part-time. Or if you don't know where to start and need help, give me a call at 385-398-9862 and let's chat. All right, what's going on, Ken? This is Investor Thrive Podcast, and we're glad to have you on here. How you doing, Ken?
I'm doing great. Yourself?
Good. I appreciate you taking your time to be on the Investor Thrive Nation podcast. We call this the Painless Wholesaling Podcast because what we try to do is make wholesaling painless. That's the goal here.
That's right. That's
That's
right.
right.
And you've been doing a good job. I've been following you.
Hey, man, I thank you. I appreciate that. So, yeah, let's just kind of dive right in, man. I mean, we've kind of got networked. That's kind of how I meet a lot of people, just through networking and stuff. So let's kind of find out, for people that don't know who you are, tell us who the real Ken Sykes is.
The real Ken Sykes, they title me Ken, keeping the real Sykes. But, I thrive on that name because,
like it.
Let me introduce myself first. I'm Ken Sykes. I am a prior real estate agent for 15 years, some time ago. But now I am a wholesale/investor/dispo, which is what I major in now. And I try working with new wholesalers. That's basically what I do in a nutshell. Been in the business total now for 20 years. And I just try to do what I can do and help how I can help.
I love it, man. I love it. So when you say work with new wholesalers, what are you mainly helping them do?
Well, basically, a lot of them come from, other outfits, like Astra Flipping, Pace Moby. But what I do, because I actually was with Pace Moby myself. I was actually with Jamel.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So, that's where I got some of my learning from. But I've been to a lot of other seminars as well. But what I do, I kind of like hold their hands. I mean, because people like those entities, like Jamel and Pace Moby, are great, but they can't hold your hand every step of the way.
They're too busy, brother. They're too busy.
Too busy. And so what I do one-on-one coaching. I try to walk them through the process from A to Z.
Ooh, I like
that's
that.
what I do. And trust me, man, I had to have a bottle of Cedrins and a bottle of Advil because they don't understand. It's like when you go to school, like when I was in real estate, I went and got my real estate license, but no disrespect to real estate agents, because that's my love.
Mm-hmm.
But when I left the real estate school and got into the real world, I think I only used 5% of what I learned. And that same thing is happening in the investment industry.
Yeah.
They go classes, they get the seminars and they teach them straight the right way. But then when they get out here, it's a culture shock. So, and that's what I do. And I hold their hands and so to speak, and just walk them through the process. I mean, it's a process, but I try to make it like your show. I try to make it as painless as possible.
That's right, man, because that's what it has to be for them. It has to be easy, to the point. So let me ask you this. I mean, there might be a lot of people that watch this and might want to reach out to you. So what would you say, like you said, A to Z? So what is a brief overview of the A to Z process for you? So someone that's brand new that's watching this can be like, oh, okay, that's all it takes?
Right. Well, A to Z is first understanding is 5% business, and it's about 90% of marketing. And it's not that it's expensive, so I have to teach them how they must start marketing themselves.
Okay.
Some people do it part-time, understand this, but some people, this is who they are. But I try to teach them, the marketing aspect of it first.
Okay.
Understand that, like, it's not going to fall in their lap. And sometimes they pay the cost to go to these seminars and they come home and they think it's going to fall in their lap. But people like Jamel, because I talked to Jamel personally before, people like us, we tell you, you have to do the work too. You have to do the work. We can give you the education, but you have to do the work. That's A. And then understanding the industry as a whole, understanding, that you are entering to a lifestyle, whereas you have to understand how to negotiate. People have issues, and so people have circumstances that you have to get past to get your point across. The main thing is understanding the process.
Okay, process.
And then understanding how to address the process.
Okay.
So here's the problem, Nate. A lot of them understand the process, but they don't know how to address the process. You know what I mean? Okay. And they understand the book lingo, but they don't understand how to address the book lingo.
Right.
So that's what I do. And then understanding that you have to take your emotions out of it. You have to take your emotions out of it because it's all about the numbers. And a lot of times they come in and they think that it's a good deal, or they think it looks like a good deal, or they try to play their construction, their contractors, and all kinds of stuff. Take your emotions out of it. If don't work, it ain't going to go. You know what I mean?
Especially right now.
Oh man, golly! Especially right now, it's like in the last 2 or 3 weeks, it's been like crazy with the shift.
And what market are you in, bro?
I'm in Dallas market. I'm in Philadelphia market, Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, and St. Louis.
So you pretty much help all the people out there. So I mean
Right.
that makes complete sense. So tell us, I mean, before we hopped on here, you were talking about the importance of analyzing deals, right? Like running comps.
Yes.
Let's talk about that.
That's number 4 and number 5. Okay. And analyzing deals, doing the proper comp. I mean, it's more to it, than 70% ARV. You might,
Always.
it's more to it's different circumstances that's going to make this comp different than the next, and they have to understand it's just not the basics. A lot of them come to me and they say, "Well, it's 70%, and minus repairs. First of all, who did the repair? Who did the minus and repair? Was it you?
Yeah.
I'm okay, whatever." So
You say, oh, 5K? Yeah,
right,
that's not going to cover it.
so they got to understand how to do the square footage, how to do the numbers, how to do the calculations, because a lot of times it's unsight, unseen.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so you always cannot go by what the seller or whoever presented it to you stated it's going to need 20K repairs. It's best just to do your calculations.
It's true.
You'd be better off, and I know a lot of don't like to hear this, but you're better off leaving meat on the table than underbidding the project.
I hear you, man.
Do their own calculation per square footages.
So what would you recommend for comps? That seems to be a hard thing for a lot of people. Where do they get the right information? Where do they get the comps?
You have batch, you have batch, batch leads.
Okay.
You have a PV now, and you have prompt stream. Those are the main ones that I use. I go to Zillow sometimes, but Zillow kind of might make you lose a deal. But I'm just saying. But so what my team do, which makes us stand out different.
Okay.
I have 4 compers.
Oh, wow.
And when I do, I send them through all 4. And here's the good thing about it. I make sure none of my companies communicate on their company skills with one another, because I want that diversity in their company. So when the people come to me, I send them through all 4 compers, and then I look at them and I decide on this is where we need to go. So that's what and we major in that. So we just took the time out to build a team to do that. Now that's not to say that your comp or that's other person's comp is not accurate. That's just something we do. It's something that I came up with because I majored in that, because I am with a dispo. So this way I know if I say it's a deal, it's a solid deal.
Yeah.
Just a deal versus a maybe, because you got to buy all sizes, or buy and hold, or whether it needs to get to a hedge fund. So we do that. We just set aside to do it that way.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. So you got them. You got batch leads. You got prop stream. You got privy. You got Zillow occasionally, depending on the estimate. You don't usually go off of that. Okay.
Right.
So
and we do Redfins too.
Yeah, Redfin. Yeah.
Yeah, we try. Now on top of that, I have 3 licensed agents with me. So it depends on where they at. One of them they can do it in 42 states. So we look at the MLS company.
That's huge. MLS.
Yeah, so we know that it's a deal from every aspect. So that's what we do, and it takes time, to do that. Which is why I know we hadn't talked about this. Which is why when a person come in JV with me, now this is different, Nate, because I think I speak for all of us that it's a lot of work doing that. It's a lot of work doing these conferences. It's a lot of work, man. And the way they JV, man, it's like, 50-50. If I find a buyer on your deal, and if you find a buyer on your own deal, then I get 0. Nah, I don't roll like that, because I put too much time in it. So it's 50-50. If I find the deal, it's your deal. But if you find your own deal, we're talking about like at least 75-25.
Wow.
Because of the work we put in.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I have 4 compers. I mean, and when I dispo, me and my partner Scott, when we dispo, we work hard at it. You work hard at yours too, and you work too hard for someone just to ride by and say, "Okay, I'm gonna," you get somebody just ride by and say they like the property, and you sell it to them, and you didn't get all that work.
Yeah.
But that's what used to be back in the day. I'm telling my age, man. But back in the long days when it first started, JVing, that way. It used to be, if I said I'm JV with you, I trust you, I believe in you, I know your history. So you and I are gonna JV, and whoever finds the deal, we're gonna still split this deal as a JV partner. Okay. That used to be, but now it done got crazy.
So let me kind of get a little bit better understanding. So if someone brings you a deal and says, "Hey, I got a good deal," you check it with your 4 compers, and it's a great deal. What is the split again?
It's negotiable. I just threw that. It is 75-25 or 80-20. If you find the deal yourself after we did a JV agreement.
Of course. So that would be 80 to you?
No, 80 to them and 20 to
okay, for finding the buyer, right?
Right, for finding the buyer. Now see what I want to make sure I get this straight. It's your deal. Okay. Brought it to me, but you happen to find a buyer for your own deal.
Okay. Oh, if I brought an own buyer. So
Yeah,
I have a JV deal. I bring it to you, say, help me find a buyer, and then I end up finding my own. You still
right.
so you're saying give me 20% for the time that I spent with you.
Right, right. And
Mm.
I think that and I know a lot of ones that don't like this process say, oh man, I think that's a process that should be put in place because we put a lot of work in it. We put a lot of effort in it. And I think some people, when they get and they hear people on, some of the groups that they say, well, we're going to JV with you. The difference between us and them, we put 100% effort into it.
Right. You
And,
don't
and
have to.
yeah, so I think you ought to just, with that being said, pick and choose your person you want to JV with. Check their background out. Do something. And let me give you an example. My guy Scott and I, we just was working this deal like yesterday,
Okay.
and we got a buyers and everything in Philly. We got a buyers ready to go in, and there are people out to inspect. Now this buyer is in Florida.
Okay.
So he got a team that he sent in Philly to go check out the property, and everything. So that's a cost to him. So lo and behold, he get all that done. And yesterday we get a call and says that the other JV person contracted the property already.
Frustrating.
Yeah, that's very frustrating. Now, but here's the thing. The good thing about it is it's not a lot. It's not a lot, but I was able to compensate him for him having the people come in because of this particular one was 75-25.
Right.
Right. And so it works. But that's a prime example of what would happen if it was just a 50-50 split on the original JV and he gets nothing if you found your own deal and he didn't had these people come down here, pay whatever he may have paid them or whatever he had compensated them for to come, and do that. So it's important.
I like that. I like that. So you're basically saying that you will JV with someone on 50-50, but if they end up finding their own buyer, you still want to cut just because of all the time and energy you put into that deal.
Right.
Do you have them sign something that says
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
What
yes.
is it? Is it your JV agreement that says, hey,
it's a JV agreement. It says on there, if buyer, if
seller, yeah.
subject JV individual find his own deal on this JV on this account, then we'll get it's negotiable. We'll get 20%, and they'll get 80%. Or if I find the buyer on the deal, then we'll do a 50-50 split. It states it on there, and some of them don't like it, and some of them don't.
Yeah. Some of them don't like it. Okay.
Right, and that's fine. That's fine. I mean, I got so many people that come to me now. It kind of is a relief for me. But like, so
how do they come to you? By the way, how can more people come to you?
I get about, I don't want to exaggerate, so I say I get about 20 deals a week that comes to me.
How many of them are good though?
About 7.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So now here's what I experienced. I also experienced doing all the work when I didn't have that, and then they walk off and go someplace else. So yeah, I get deals come to me like right now. When I had to turn off for a minute ago, that was because somebody was sending me a spreadsheet. You know what I mean? Because they trust me and they know that I'm going to do what I say I'm going to do, and I follow up in my communications.
Yeah,
I mean,
that sounds good.
I communicate with them daily. I take the time out. This is different because I know what I had to do. I know how I came up, and I know what the issues that I was having. And communication was the biggest issue I was having with individuals that were disboying or JVing. It was like a communication. So I kind of keep them in tune so they don't be freaking out. You know what I'm saying? So, and is that necessary? No, it's not really necessary. It's just something that I do. So I don't want individuals feel like that what I'm saying is necessary because it's not. And a lot of people don't have the time to do that. I just take the time out.
I like it, man. I like it. Well, you heard it here first, people. If you want to JV with my man Ken Sykes, you can hit him up. How can they reach you, brother?
They can go ahead on they can catch me on Facebook at Ken Sykes Sr. They can inbox me or they can call me at 214-946-0291. And Patrick is in the process of completing my website.
I love it, man. Sounds like you got a lot of good things going on, man. If you're getting 20 submissions a week, 7 deals out of those, that's pretty dang good, man. It's pretty good,
man. It's pretty good. And the thing about it is, the team have to be tight because they got to keep the chain rolling. They got to keep it rolling. So really when one slack off, the train stops. So we can't have them slacking off.
You can't, bro. I love it. Well, hey, Ken, I mean, I appreciate your time. Is there anything else you want to leave? A little golden nugget? Anything you want to leave for the world right now? The worldwide fans of Ken Sykes before we shut this thing down?
Yeah. Only thing I can say is just give me a call and I'll hook you up. No, but no, just make sure you understand how to comp your deals and understand the criteria for the end buyers.
Okay.
And once you understand those, it'll make it a lot less simple. It'll be make it what we say, it make it painless.
That's right, brother. Painless wholesaling. That's what we do, right?
Right. That's right.
Well, hey,
So
Ken, I'd love to, network with you a little bit more. I JV a lot with people too, so maybe we
okay.
might be able to collaborate. Maybe you can help me move some of my deals. I don't know. We'll see.
We definitely gonna work together for sure.
Sounds
So
good, man. Well,
I
hey,
look forward
Ken,
all right, you be good.
you be good, brother. Appreciate your time, man.
I thank you.
Yep. Bye.